Hi Saints fans, Josh Starr with you, and we are joined by Fighting Saints General Manager Trevor Edwards. Saints wrapped up the draft process today, and he's here to discuss the season and the draft. So we'll start, Trevor, with the draft today, Phase 2. Really the group that makes a big impact immediately in this next season. What did you think of the team's draft today?
Yeah, we were real excited. Had a few immediate needs that we needed to take care of. A couple up the middle with some center icemen that, we're losing 3 of our key centermen in some size this year. We wanted to address that, so we thought we did that with E2 Orapana right off the bat. Big center, kind of similar to Runanen that we had last year. That comes in with national team, national team experience. So, real excited about him. He's excited to be in Dubuque and come here and take the next step in his career. So that was the first step. Goaltending was the next one. We had 2 veteran goalies last year that played fantastic for us all year. We were really excited to get Wojtek in the draft. That was a player that we've watched for the last 2 years, not just this year. We're just super excited that he was available for us.
You mentioned Heikki Ruohonen and such a big impact on this team this year, and it was a Phase 2 pick, right? Well, what is the impact that you can see from players in this draft, specifically in Phase 2?
Yeah, I think that the Phase 2 just allows us to replenish the more veteran junior player part of the roster. You've got your younger Phase 1 players that are coming up through the system that come up at their own time and take their steps. But with the college system and the way that players go to school, kind of when they're 18, 19 years old typically, those Phase 2 picks allow you to, be able to keep the level of play here in the league and on this team just at a certain level. Those players are just a little bit more experienced. So it's just a nice balancing act between players moving up the roster in the depth chart, moving up from the affiliate list, and then being able to add and insulate them with some more veteran players.
Saints General Manager Trevor Edwards, we'll talk about the season in a second, but yesterday's Phase 1 draft, the players that are going to make up a core in the future.
Yep.
What did you think of that group that you were able to bring in yesterday?
Yeah, and that's, like, you use the word the core, like that really is what Phase 1 is. It provides that core. I think if you draft well in Phase 1 and you have a high success rate of players that come in and play in the USHL and play like 50-plus games, which we have a really high percentage of doing, it really helps make sure that year after year you're insulating the group with, not just first-year guys that are Dubuque-type players, but also year after year you have returners that come back that are proud to be part of this process. So I thought yesterday was a lot of fun to get a handful of the players that we really, really wanted. Really coveted some center icemen that play. We talked about Phase 2 having to replenish some of that. The easiest way to replenish it is to not be, bare in the cupboards a little bit with that type of player. So we thought we got 200-foot players throughout the draft, but especially at the start, highly competitive kids that have skill and that can play hard, play our style. We're really excited about those guys.
Let's get into the season a little bit. Ended in the conference final, 2 straight years making it to that point, and the standard here has been set, and you followed suit in your first season, being able to help the team get to that point. Overall, your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, I mean, from a wins perspective, I think it was very successful. Obviously, eclipsing the 40 win mark is hard to do in this league, and I don't think we take that for granted either. Both Evan and myself have been here for a number of years, and we know how hard it is to win 40 games in this league. So, the guys were consistent. They battled. You look at the number of 1-goal games we played in. We're real proud of the fact that when the games were on the line, we had another gear. Highly competitive kids that wanted to win and wanted to fight right to the end. Not satisfied with our playoff exit in the way it happened. We thought we really got outplayed by the Muskegon team in that series overall, and sure there were some moments that series could have changed a little. In Game 1 it was a close game, and then you go deep into that Game 3, but overall I thought we were we lost to a better team in that series. So I think we look at ourselves in the mirror and how can we improve. We think we maybe address some of those needs here in Phase 2 today. But again, overall, it's a highly successful season. Off the ice, we're real proud too. I think it was announced today that we had 3 all-academic team members. which is amazing for us to not only be great on the ice, but off the ice as well.
For the strengths and weaknesses, you mentioned there are things you thought you improved in the draft. Where do you feel like this team is going to be better next year compared to this year, where maybe it was lacking a little bit?
Yeah, I think that as a team, if you looked at our team last year, we were maybe not the most physical team up front. We did have speed and skill, which we love and we want that. But we wanted to maybe get a little bit heavier and harder to play against up front while not losing that skill component of our game. In the back end, we were really big on the back end last year, long, you could say. But maybe we weren't able to generate as much offense from the back end as we wanted consistently. So we think that we maybe kind of tried to find a little bit more of a balance in this draft to provide that puck-moving, exciting, hard brand of hockey that we want to play, and hopefully that'll lead to, great regular season success, but also playoff success for us.
Last year, there was some players that came back for their second season, and you always see some of a step in year two for a lot of guys. Some of them will be back for another year here, and you're kind of depending on some of the returning players to make a big impact next year. Tell me about that group and what you feel like you can get what more you feel like you can get out of that.
Yeah, that's with the landscape right now in college hockey. You have the NCAA rule change with the CHL, and then you have some roster size amendments going on. There's some players that probably would go to college next year that are slated to return. Our returning points, when you calculate them year over year, which we do every year in this process, is about 40 points higher this year coming than it was last year. And we thought our returning class last year was higher than the year before that went to the Clark Cup final. So very optimistic about guys. Michael Barron being one, a 2-year veteran of this league, took a big step this year. We anticipate him returning to the lineup as a 3rd-year veteran. Colin Frank, same thing. Charlie Aaron, same thing. Expect big jumps from these guys. And then a guy like Cooper Dennis that had a great rookie season. Bring him back. He's an electric player. Add confidence, right, in knowing the environment, more opportunity, and I would expect a player like that to really flourish. So those guys up front are Teddy Merrill's another one that brings back leadership, hard work, grit. I think he's a fan favorite, and he's a coach's favorite, manager's favorite. He's a player I'd expect to take some major jumps as well. But we know what Teddy brings, and he's going to bring it every day.
For some of the players that won't be here, I really want to focus on Gavin Kornforth. He's a 3-year player here and made a huge impact and grew a lot in the role. And talking to the coaching staff, they're always beaming about what he brought on and off the ice. Tell me about his career here with the Saints and what his impact was.
Yeah, Gavin. He's like the epitome of fighting Saint, right? Like someone that grew up here, fought through adversity, grew from it, never quit. We're so proud of Gavin, and to get named actually the all-academic team today too is like a testament to just how far he's come. His compete throughout the season was just awesome. Like it was awesome. So we're really, we're proud of the development, proud to see him take that next step in his career. And he's a player just like many that have come before him that can say they're Saints for life and actually like truly feel it, mean it, and we're just thrilled for him.
This team made the conference final next year. Obviously the goals, like you said, came up short this year, but next year, try to get back to a championship.
Yep.
What do you think this team is, how do you think this team is prepared for that entering the summer and heading into the next season?
Yeah, everybody loves their team this time of year. You finish the draft, everybody's pumped up and excited. But I do feel like the returning core of this team coming back, they're playoff experienced. They're players that have been in impact, positions within our lineup. I feel like we addressed the needs that we had, plus the goaltending to continue for that to be a strength of our team like it has been. So I think we're really excited for that challenge to a lot of teams, they go through cycles in junior hockey where it's up, then down, then up, then 2 years bad, 1 year good, and they go for it each year. we take a lot of pride in the fact that every single year we bring back a core that's hungry and has that, that knowledge of what we are looking for, and then we add to it and go after it every single year. And I think that we're a team that's capable of doing that again.
Playoffs every season, other than the one where they didn't happen, right, during COVID. So the consistency has been a major pillar in this organization. That comes down from the top down. Coaches as well make a big impact. Evan Dixon's first year as the head coach here for this team. What was your opinion on how he handled it and what you're looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, it was seamless for us as manager and Evan as the head coach. We had a great relationship, worked hand in hand all season long as a team. Communication was excellent. I can't speak enough about Evan's impact on the organization. He really talented young coach that has excellent communication skills. He's a good person first and foremost, and that bleeds into the group. Very detailed and planned, and goes through his processes extremely well, and that rubs off on the players and everybody around him. So been real happy and excited for the future with Evan. I think a year, just like me as a general manager, the first year you learn a lot, you make some mistakes, and you try to learn from them. I think Evan will go through that same process as a head coach, and we'll be even better next year and hungrier. We had some situations that where we didn't come. We came up a little short, and I think we all are excited to take on that challenge again.
To all the fans that followed along this year are already excited and scratching for next year. What's your message to this fan base here heading into the next season?
Yeah, I mean, this year, from a fan support standpoint, was one of the best in our history, and it means so much to the players and to the organization here to see this town come out and support this team and out here ringing their cowbells and cheering, and I tell you, I use some of those examples in our recruiting calls with players to show them what the atmosphere looks like here and how much fun it is to play in this town, and it really, really helps. So, I hope that this team will once again be an exciting team for them to support. I think that's a staple of what we've built here, right? Is that we go out there and we play to win every single night. We leave it on the ice. We're not afraid to make mistakes. We're not a team that takes pride in sitting back and boring the other team to death to try to win 1-0. We're going to get after it and we're going to play, and I think that is what the fans in this building want to see and this community wants to see, and we're super proud to represent them, and can't wait to get next season started.
Thank you, Trevor, for your time. Congratulations on a great first season as general manager. Excited to see what's to come next season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.